Okay, so now we have an interesting situation. We got this straight wall here on the garage, okay? I could get up here and I can put this here on the edge and I can come down here and I can measure this puppy and try to hold it still. Oh, missed it. Oh, missed it again. Oh, there we go, okay? And it gives me 23 feet. Which is fine, and the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better it gets. But you can also use the Pythagorean theorem, which is the triangular formula, if you remember from your trigonometry class in middle school, which is the base and the height and the length and all that jazz. The bottom line is this. A diagonal on a triangle is the exact same as the straight if you hit the same opposite wall. So using that formula, I can actually stand here, same distance from the wall, and I can actually shoot to the inside wall. And sure enough, I get 23 feet, just like I did. A lot easier when you have a garage that's open like this. You can just hit the wall if there's not too much stuff on that wall, and you can do a lot better. So I'm going to go 23 across, come over here, and here we go 21 and a half, 21.5, up. Here's where the wall on the inside starts, so I'm going to start right there. Hit that opposite side. Remember to add 6 inches if you're doing an inside wall, which we have, so 15.5. And then we're going to connect up here with this one, okay? 3-car attached garage is what it came out to be. Now, if it was something different, I could actually click that and I could change the area and I could change it to whatever I need to here, okay? So now we've got this down here, so I can just, whoops, grab that, click it there, and I know it's going to follow the wall, so I'm going to go 6 down, and I'm going to go clear across to the opposite, connect there. Now the nice thing is I can take this, and I can move that puppy right there, and boom, we're all connected. We've got our first floor, we've got our attached garage, everything looks sweet. Okay, so follow me inside, and we'll do the inside. So here we are on the inside, a lot warmer than it was on the outside on a cold Idaho morning. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to carry this with one hand, and I'm going to carry my camera with the other hand. So I can take my picture of the living room. I can then walk, take my picture of the kitchen. Then I can come around here and I can actually put the labels on as I go through. So that was a living room here. This is kind of a dining area. Then I've got the kitchen. Okay, now as I'm in the kitchen, I can actually close this off, come over here, and I can start to fill stuff in. Okay, and I can say, okay, well, has the kitchen been updated in the last 15 years? Doesn't look like it, so I'm not going to change that. Overall condition, I'd say this house is a C4. I'm going to leave it there as a C4. I can fill out the appliances, everything I need to as I go through. I can switch back and forth. Okay, the other cool thing is I can actually come here and I can write notes for my office staff. When they get this sent to them, they'll know exactly what needs to be done. In other words, I can say, well, let's say we found some mold. Let's say we smelled something and we looked in there. Oh my word, there's some mold in there. So obviously I take a picture of that, and then I would just put in big letters here, mold under kitchen sink. Okay, it's not pretty, but they get the information when it gets back to the office. The other thing that you can do is actually come here and you can actually record. You can say, hit the record button. There's mold under the kitchen sink, and then you hit that, and that would actually get sent to them. Okay, we fast forwarded here. I've actually done the whole inspection just using the same stuff that I told you about before. When I went to the basement, I drew the basement from the downstairs. I knew that there weren't the bays included, everything else was included, so I just copied the sketch from the front, or excuse me, from the upstairs to the downstairs, and then I placed all of my, in fact, I'll just show you here. As you can see, I've got my first floor, the attached garage, and then I've got the basement that I drew using this sketch and subtracting out the bays. Okay, so that went pretty smoothly. We're all done here. You can actually draw interior stuff as well. There's interior walls you can put in there. You can put symbols in, so if you're one that likes to do symbols, I don't do it often, so I can't remember even which button it is, but there is a button here. Oh, there we go, for symbols. So if you want to put cars, let's put a Hummer in the garage here. You know, you can do that. Anyway, just whatever. I think you can actually flip this around too. Maybe. I don't do symbols very often, but you can play with that and do what you want there. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm done at this point, other than I have not put the pictures in the report. You can actually put the pictures in the report. I'm going to show you how. Even though I did not take the pictures with the iPad 2, you can still put the pictures in the report, and here's how you do it. So I'm going to take the camera here, and I'm actually going to pop out the SD card. Okay. Take out the SD card, and I have here what is called a camera connection kit. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it almost anywhere. It is an Apple product. I put that in that, and then I plug this in the same place that the power supply goes in, and it will automatically pop up and say, oh, you got some pictures. Okay, you just say, okay, I'm going to import all. Okay, it's going to go through and just start importing all the pictures that I took. By the way, I always take a picture of myself in the mirror when I'm at the inspection, just in case anybody complains and says, hey, were you really there? So something, I would suggest you do. Okay, now it says import is complete. Do you want to keep these pictures on the SD card, or I can erase them for you? I always keep them just in case, especially where I travel sometimes an hour, hour and a half to an inspection in rural Idaho. It's nice to have those pictures on hand in case I need them later on. So I'm going to hit keep. I'm going to close that. I'm going to open back up my WinTotal program. At this point, I hit the pictures, and I say, okay, I want to choose an existing picture. It'll say, where do you want to choose it from? I'm going to say the last imported. So there it is. I'm going to say, okay, there's my street scene. Hit save. Boom, it's there. Here's my front photo. That's not a very good front photo. I might need to retake that as I get out here. It wasn't very wide. I was too worried about the camera and not necessarily the picture I was taking. So there's the rear photo. Again, I'm not putting everything in there because not everything's required. But I do have every room, just in case they come back and ask for it later. So well, here, that's an interior picture. Choose existing. We're going to come down here. There's my living room. That's also an interior picture. As you can see, this actually goes very, very quick. There's a bathroom. I took pictures of the, because it's a vacant house, they're going to have questions as to whether or not the utilities are on. So I'm going to take and put those in. Don't have to, but might as well. I took them. Let's see, there's another bathroom. We're going to want to put that in. And the last bathroom, we'll put that in. I could throw a bedroom in if I want, what have you. Now, the other thing is cool is I could actually, if I had done comps before I got out here, you can actually go to the comps and you can pop in a picture of the comp as well that you just took. Obviously I didn't, but I could have done that and put the comp pictures in as well. Okay. At this point, we're done with everything. Now, here's a trick. I always like to have backups of backups of backups. Especially when you're dealing with technology, things can fail. And as a consequence, so what I do is instead of just closing and saving, I will actually email a file. I can send it in the XAP format, which is the total 2011-2012 product, or I can send it in a PDF format, which I like to do because the PDF will actually give me a backup of everything, including, and here's the key, the sketch. I gotta have a backup of my sketch. Everything else I can probably recreate from memory, The pictures are already on the SD card, so if anything, I don't want to lose my sketch and the measurements that were done there. I can't do that from memory. So PDF, a copy, it's creating the PDF. It pops my my email program up. I'm just going to go ahead and hit send, and I sent that off. They now have an email copy of this inspection that I just did, just in case. They're not going to use it, but it's a backup. Okay, now I hit save and close. It's saving the report. At this point, I can hit desktop sync, and it will upload via the lovely internet cloud that we enjoy, and I'm on to my next inspection. Everything has been sent to my office. When I get back to my office, my staff will already have done the unsyncing process, which allows me to start doing adjustments, start pulling comps, doing reconciliation, and getting the report done very, very quickly. Okay, this took a lot longer than it normally takes to do an inspection because I took so much time to explain. Typically, I can get through an inspection very easily in 15 or 20 minutes on a house such as the one that we did here today. So it's really not that much more time than doing a pencil and paper thing. The key is, when I get back to the office, I don't have to recreate everything that I created on site. So thank you for watching, and go create some value.